What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody?
Hi.
What is it giving?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to What Is It Giving? Episode 2.
Yes, and I am one of the co-hosts, Miss Fox Giselle. Joined here by my other lovely co-host, Miss Ashley. Ashley Breeze.
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody. It's me, Ashleen, aka Ashley Breeze. And we have special guests from Tea Time London.
Tea Time London.
Hi, darlings. Yes, hi. It's Kachenga, your favorite writer, journalist, who's feeling the autumnal chill. It's a bit, it's a bit chilly here, so I'm just sitting with my candle, having a nice evening in leggings and a jumper.
I know that's right. So, are we all saying what we're wearing?
We also have one more special guest. We have Miss Kenya from Los Angeles, California. Miss Kenya is going to be giving us she has a very interesting story to tell us because some of you guys may be in the limelight about this whole pop star situation that's going on with Kalani. Did I say her name right, Ashley?
Yes, Kalani.
Okay, can you kind of brief me a little bit about this, because I don't want to give the wrong give the wrong information.
Right, definitely. So for those of you who know, Kalani is, I believe she's international, but she may be more known in America. She's an R&B pop artist, singer, and she recently came out. She came out earlier this year as bisexual queer woman. And recently she announced that she was pregnant, and everyone was speculating, well, who's the father? Who's the father? And then she revealed on Nicki Minaj's Queen Radio the other day that the father was a bisexual Black man. So we definitely wanted to have a conversation about bisexuality. A lot of people feel that bisexuality in men does not exist, that either they believe that it's not that a bi man has to be gay, because in actuality, penis is more powerful than, the feeling of a penis would drive someone to stick with men more than a female. So what do you girls think? Like, do you feel like bisexuality in men, are men who are saying that they're bi, are they really bi, or are they just trying to mask that they're really gay?
No, they're definitely not really gay. That's ridiculous. I think it's really unfortunate that men are not allowed any sort of sexual freedom, and that for men, it's like straightness is the requirement for straightness requires such purity. Like when we were watching Insecure last year, was it last season? When Molly was going out with the light-skinned dude, and he literally got one blowjob off a guy, just one. Mm-hmm. And that does not make anyone bi. Like, I feel like queerness requires such a political responsibility, commitment. It often requires like homelessness and estrangement and stuff, and I think it's a bit ridiculous. Men aren't allowed to explore themselves at all. Saying that, and so that's my public base. But if I'm being real, if a guy that I'm dating says that he's if a guy I'm dating says that he's bisexual,
get messy.
I'm not that messy. I was just saying, if a guy I'm dating says that he's bisexual and he sleeps with men, I will raise an eyebrow and ask a few questions. But it doesn't rule him out as a partner for me, not at all.
Definitely. That's a nice view. Fox, what is your view on bisexual men and, Are they bi or are they gay?
Well,
What have you been doing?
Are you okay?
What have you just swallowed? It sounds like you just swallowed a bisexual.
Fox, are you okay?
Yeah. Oh, I had swallowed something earlier on. I think it went down the wrong pipe or something. But
Clearly.
So yeah, this is how I feel about the situation. A bisexual man, I feel like most men that date trans women are bisexual. However, if a guy, like, this is where it gets weird. Like, I generally tend to like masculine, hypersexual top men. And, you know, usually everyone has known about me and, you know, things that have leaked on the internet. You know, those I top from time to time. But the fact of the matter is that when I top a guy, I lose respect for him. Just a little. Yeah, so I know it's a little bit different from the bisexual, but you know,
So
it's kind of like,
wouldn't consider him for a relationship?
No. I wouldn't consider
Wow.
a guy that I topped for a relationship. Because, you know, perfect example, when I was dating this one guy and all of a sudden he said, "Oh, I want to get topped."
Yeah.
And he was very demanding in the bed, and I would really be submissive to his domineering personality. And then when I topped him, you know, he was just like starting to be domineering now, and like suck my dick, and I'm like, oh boy, please, you yeah. And I said it without thinking, and I think it hurt his feelings because I never saw him afterwards. But that's not me being negative. That was just like I didn't see him the same. I'm like, you just took a dick up your ass, and you're gonna try to tell me to suck some dick, honey? You suck some dick. Okay. So yeah. Starting to think that I should have sucked that dick that I sucked earlier. Oh yeah. What about you, Colleen, Kenya? As far as dating a bisexual, oh, you had an interesting story about that, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So I met a fine guy at a party, and immediately I walked in with a head wrap and some African attire. And I'm looking like Miss Kenya for real. And he was all about it. He was all about it. He was mixed, and then smoking, and then, you know, exchange of numbers. The next day, we ended up hanging out. He came to my place, and he made a few comments at the party saying that, oh, we would make some beautiful babies. But the next day when he actually came to my house and I thought we were gonna, you know, make something happen, he really kind of insisted, you know, we would make the best babies, and look, my career is taking off right now, and you know, do you have a problem with me wearing high heels? And that kind of slid in. And do you have a problem? And he was like warming me up. He was like, do you have a problem if he was so fine. And he's like, do you have a problem with me I love to skateboard. If I skateboard with my high heels, or if I want to go to a club wearing high heels, how would you feel about that? And I'm just looking at him Google-eyed, like, I'm with it. Okay, let's do it. Not really thinking about it. And
you think he was serious, huh?
I didn't know if he was serious. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was serious, but then the fixation on our mixed babies, you know, how my deep African features and his light skin,
wow,
his mixed background mixed with my chocolate skin
that's so effed up. How can you be so that open in terms of gender and that shut down in terms of race?
Yeah, he he stood me up. He made it clear. He said, I'm dating another guy, and you know whatever, but I'm into you. But I'm like, what is? I was really confused. And then he stood me up for this guy, and I knew that deep down, I knew that he was more interested in men than women. It was just an idea for him to entertain, like maybe to make me a baby mama, just like a donor or something.
What in the Ricky Martin is going on? What in the Ricky Martin is going on?
So Kenya, let's introduce to the viewers, because we didn't even properly tell people that you are not trans.
No.
You are a cis female, and I think that we have to make sure you put that out there, because people are probably in the comments like, well, how is she trying to get pregnant if she's a transgender? So in the LGBT community,
transgender women are women, period.
Right. The uterus transplant has not been created yet. But, so as a cis, I want to ask you, okay, as a female, do you find the term cis offensive?
No.
Okay, because I've heard a lot of females that they feel that the word cis is like it's degrading, because they feel as if because they feel like they're just females and they're just women, period, and they feel like they don't have to add, you know, all these extra, you know. They feel like it's basically taking away from them being just a female. The fact that everyone is adding the fact that, oh, now it's a trans woman, trans female, cis woman, cis female. And they feel like the word women, they feel like being females are being hijacked by LGBT people.
No, I think we live in such a evolutionary but yet sensitive time where people are too goddamn sensitive. I just can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I don't see it as offensive. I think you have to an extent have some type of open mind.
Right.
Okay.
Hold
on. Fox, are you all right?
I cannot help but think of sexual things when you cough like that.
Oh, God. Hold on.
So, Kenya, I want to ask you, okay, so basically, so as a heterosexual cis female of color, would you date a bisexual man?
No, because I'm competing with I feel like I'm competing.
What's going on? These sounds.
Is somebody gargling?
Yeah, I just heard gargle. I just heard gargle.
I was gargling some
what? Gargling what?
I was gargling some Listerine.
Okay.
Down my throat because it was just really clogged up. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't want to step away from my post. That's all.
Okay, well, so Kenya, like you were saying,
now, you hear me clearly now.
We hear you clearly, but I want to hear what Kenya has to say. As a cis woman of color, would you date a bisexual man? Let's try again.
No, I wouldn't. Because I feel like I'm competing with that penis frequency energy, and so I can't compete with that. When I was dating the guy, when we were talking, and it kind of just went on for a bit, I really felt like he was more interested in the guy that he was talking about than me. Just having like ulterior motive with me of getting me pregnant. He was interested.
So you felt like bisexual men, they are taking advantage of their like being bi so that they could impregnate women and raise the child with their gay partner?
I think that could be a possibility, one of the possibilities. But one of many different scenarios. Like I said, I think that what Miss London in the leggings said about men not being able to explore themselves sexually or something. To that effect. Yeah, I think that it's so many different levels to it. But no,
What was it that you said before about being in competition with so many people?
Being in competition.
That penis energy, that frequency, the penis. That was a good
frequency. The frequency of the penis. I mean, I think when you tap into when you open yourself up sexually with experimenting like that, I think you tap into a frequency where you can attract more people like that, and you kind of just go on a tangent and kind of do your thing. And I felt like I was competing with his exploration and his whatever he wanted to do. I didn't want to. No, I felt like I was the been there, done that.
Sure.
I know the type of frequency I attract when I tap into, when I actually tap into the shower head and my in my shower, and I basically open up myself. Oh
my gosh! Okay.
And I open myself
wow.
Dimension of like BBC and all types of large sizes that I can take in. So I know what she's talking about.
Okay. So the question is, all right, so talk about bisexuality and stuff like that. Well, first, I want to say this. So Kenya, I respect the fact that you're that's just not your cup of tea. You wouldn't deal with someone who's bisexual, but you saying that
Tyler Perry has no chance.
Yeah. It faded out. What was that?
Tyler Perry has no chance.
Yeah. It's not going to work out between you and Odell Beckham, huh?
No,
let me say this, please. Okay, let me talk, please, because I want to get this point out before I hear a call for a giggle.
No more coffee. I'm cleared now.
Okay, so what I was going to say, Kenya, with you openly saying that you wouldn't deal with a bisexual man, that's probably that's a big reason why a lot of men don't come out that they're bisexual, because they feel like females will reject them. So that's why there's so many down low men. There's so many because they're afraid that they're going to be judged. They're going to be seen as less of a man, and they feel like they're going to be, they feel like they're going to the fact that you're saying no. So that would make the next man not want to tell you that they're bi, because they feel like they're going to be turned down or seen as less of a man.
But you know what? That's something that they have to deal with, because that's on the same term of saying, like, a guy that doesn't want to date a trans woman saying, oh, then you're transphobic if you don't want to date me. She should have that choice to say that I don't want to date a bisexual man. I want to have that choice to say that I want to date a guy. I want a guy to be my man that doesn't want to get fucked in his ass. That I'm going to lose respect for after I get through coming in his ass and everything. Why can't we have that choice?
Because you can have that choice is the fact that there's so many women who feel this way, cis and trans, means that it's not that this is an issue about conditioning. It's not just your individual preference. You have been conditioned to want a man who is pure in penile energy. Anyone who explores other sides of their identity or sexual taste or preference dilutes their masculinity to such a point that you no longer want to be with them.
I feel like you have to draw the line somewhere, Kachanga, because see, here's my concern. I understand where Kenya's coming from fully, because then because we all know with most men, you give them a mouth and they will take 7. And my thing is like, okay, if I'm okay with him getting fucked in the ass, and I've seen this happen before, it just starts with just a finger in the ass. Then, basically he wants to be fucked in the ass. And all of a sudden he wants to do all these, hardcore drugs and things of this nature. Now he wants to be my pussy boy. Now I come home, my heels on, and he's wearing makeup. I mean, you got to draw the line somewhere. And I think that sometimes when you get those indications earlier on that he's going to be going in that direction, it's good to just pull the plug before, you know, you're in for the long haul.
That's what I was able to do. That's what I was able to do.
Before you know it, you know, who knows? You may start off with an Odell Beckham and you may end off with a Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh my God.
No,
you guys are hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I think I have more of a scientific understanding of sexuality, where I think that people are just somewhere on the Kinsey scale. They're either closer to straight or closer to gay, and they're somewhere in between. And you have to let people find out where they sit. And if you want someone who is straight, never had anything up their ass, wants to go to the gym 5 times a week, loves football, hates gays, then, you know, you can definitely find those people.
I don't want him going to the gym 5 times a week, because if he's going to the gym that many times, he's probably getting it in at the gym.
In the shower. In the Korean spa. He's in the Korean spa getting it in.
That is, well, are we going to talk about doubt? Wait, one at a time, please. Let me say this.
Yeah, we know how what a male personal trainer stands for out here in Hollywood, don't we?
Yes, we do.
What does it stand for?
The penis trainer.
Mm-hmm.
So you think all these good looking quote unquote straight men on Instagram with 100,000 followers, they're not public figures, they're escort figures.
I when I see a buff man, because the guy that I'm just telling the story about, he was very fit, very top heavy, muscles and all that. He didn't skip leg day that much, but he looked good. He looked good, and it's just like when you see, he looks just too perfect almost. So it's like, and now I'm kind of like giving everybody the side eye. I kind of question it. Not all, but I'm looking just from that experience. So now I'm a little bit guarded.
Let me ask you this, Kenny, though. If hypothetically you then find yourself in a relationship with a guy and you've had 2 kids with him, it's been 7 years, the sex life is fantastic, he's great with your family, everything's great, but 7 years down the line, you find out that, say, 3 or 4 times a year, he's having sex with other genders, like whether that be other men, whether that be trans men, whether that be trans women. How would you feel about that and him not telling you?
It all depends on the household income. What's my household income? And then I'll tell you how I'm gonna feel about it.
So you're like a Kris Jenner. So Kris Jenner, they said Kris Jenner stood around because the coin was so good.
You know what? If I had an accent like Kuchanga, I can't pronounce your name right, but if I had
Kuchanga, that's okay.
Kuchanga, if I had an accent like you and I'm well off and I have my Birkin bag and everything else, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna. I mean, if I have all my needs are met, by all means, I think that people up on that make more the wealthier people, this kind of stuff goes on, the swinging parties and stuff. It comes on your income. But you know what? If I'm poor and broke, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm driving a 92 Volvo. No, that's no.
It's so funny. God, that's why I thought it was gone. Burn.
I just can't stop thinking about it coming down your throat. I literally, every time you go.
All right. So, Ashley, you remember that movie I let you see on my Amazon Prime account that time? Remember the movie? It was with the gay white guy, and he had a black female wife, and he was talking to the guy in Jamaica, and she knew what was going on, but she kind of like you know, she kind of like had the same attitude that Kenya had, like, you know,
the money was good. Yeah, it was a movie. I forgot the name of it. It was a movie on Amazon Prime where
but it was
called Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
BOWI. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
BWOY.
Okay, I'll do my homework.
Basically, it was this. Yeah. It was a successful white guy who was a closeted, you know, gay man, and he had an interracial. It was an interracial marriage. His wife was black. He had children, everything, and he was obsessed with Caribbean men. And throughout the movie, he keeps going online to look for hung black men in, I believe it was in Jamaica or Africa. And he was sending him money. He was sending the black guy money for webcam shows, and the wife knew about it, but she wanted to stay because she had a perfect house. Everything was perfect, but her man.
I don't think that's an uncommon situation. I think that happens a lot more than we know.
Miss Ashley, I have a question for you. What do you think the right attitude? The sus community, like someone like me, what do you think that the right attitude should be to kind of remedy how the fear of dating or the block that's there where men don't feel comfortable coming out or sharing their things that they want to do sexually?
I think this is what I think. And Fox, mute your phone if you're gonna cough. Don't ruin my time, my moment, because I want to drop some bombs right here. I honestly think that what happens a lot normally with women of color, let's be honest, a lot of women of color are going through their man's phones and they're finding all kinds of shit. And the first thing they do is start yelling, screaming, calling him gay, calling him a faggot, calling him a homo. I'm going to tell your mother. I'm going to tell your cousins. That's what keeps these men hiding. That's what keeps them in the closet, because they're afraid of someone
outing them.
Basically just outing them. Yeah, and I feel like if someone's honest to you and it's not your thing, I'd say just tell them that you respect it, but I honestly, you're just not there yet, like mentally, and you just can't be with someone who's bi. You want someone who's exclusively heterosexual for you. But I think when people start reacting like, you gay? You like men? You suck dick? You like men sucking? You like he/she's? You like tranny? Like I think
the shade.
You need to stay away from women like that, period. That are going to react like that. That's just dangerous.
Right, but
that's the majority of straight women, though, right?
A lot of black women, especially black women, that's how they respond to it.
I think the black community is like that. The black community is, we're so conditioned. Like you said, we're conditioned. We're not really evolving, catching up with what's going on. We're so closeted into like, Lady Fox said, sweep it under the rug. I think that's that's how we are. We're not really confronting things, or we're not really having the right response to it. It's just, we need to evolve. Black folks need to evolve.
But we love the scandal of it, though, the whisper of a husband who's what's it in Married to Medicine? I forget the couple, but one of the gay guys accused him of sleeping with him. And what's that one on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Portia's ex-husband. Portia's ex-husband, Cordell.
Yeah. And Andrew Caldwell.
Yeah, people really salivate over that news.
Yes. Why are you so Andrew in it?
The first lady.
The first lady of the church.
Forward. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can even say in my own experience too that because like last year I went Facebook Live. Okay. It's only a small one. All right. Last year I went Facebook Live, and right before I was about to go Facebook Live, you cannot make this up. The wife of one of my pieces came looking for him. And she came on the Facebook Live, and she found out right then and there that I was a trans woman. And over time or so, she would start harassing me and really following me and like trolling me on my Facebook page. But every time that her and the guy would get into an argument, she would come back to my house looking for him. And the fact of the matter is, I'm trying to say is that, what about those women that will shame the guy, but then they're still there? They're not going to.
I've had this very similar experiences where I've received text messages from women saying that they've just discovered my details and asking me what we've done and things. And I have not yet heard of a woman leave her man because he's been with a trans woman. Not in my experience. They always say.
I think that there's something that happens with the female where she feels this is just my theory that that she feels that now she has to compete and she has to be even more woman than what she was before. And that's why she stays around.
I don't know. I feel when earlier on in my transition, I really coveted men who were only into trans girls. I mean, only into women, including trans girls. So for me, they had to be super manly, very toppy, and mostly go out with cis women, but occasionally would deal with a very passable trans girl on the side, because then that made me feel good. Like, yeah, I'm super passable. But then as time's gone on and I've been looking for more relationships and I've been more concerned about availability and stuff, I actually now would much prefer a man who is bisexual, pansexual, just open, because he's going to have less feelings of insecurity and inadequacy. I don't feel like I'm in competition with anyone as much as I did before. And I agree. It calms me down. If he's open with me that he is bisexual, pansexual, that he is attracted to women mostly, but has occasionally done stuff with guys here and there, couldn't really be in a relationship with one or whatever, or he's more actually interested in men, but yeah, he thinks I just need the honesty. I just want to know. I cannot stand the idea of people in the background, whether they be my friends or enemies, laughing at me because they know something that I don't know. Well, I would much rather know that.
Well, speaking of laughing, the kiki is really going on in the top chat, and I'm looking at Sebastian Andrew had said a female with a dick is a problem too, and he also said transgenders forget that they are committing gay acts too with men. How dare you?
I mean, sure, they're gonna keep saying that, and that's fine, but because I transitioned a bit later, I just don't feel queer. I don't feel as queer as I do, because of course I know what I'm doing, and if they're like down there chomping away, then yeah, I'm aware that that's going on, but it just doesn't feel queer. It doesn't feel gay, like for me anyway. And I say that as someone who is a bottom 97% of the time.
So basically you're saying that as a trans woman who is pre-op, who still has her penis,
I'm non-op,
you don't feel, I'm non-op also.
Yeah,
so let's explain what non-ops are. So basically, for those that are listening in the super chat, and I'm gonna call it the reading chat, and everyone, basically there's pre-ops. So pre-op transsexuals are trans women who they did not have the surgery, but they most likely want to, and then
that way.
They're heading that way. And then you have post-op, that's trans women who had the sex change. And so non-ops, what you said?
And I said, and that are delusional.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? You said sex changes are delusional?
I was just I was
Elaborate.
Well, okay.
Elaborate.
Okay. People have been asking me this for quite some time. And aside from the fact that my cough is come back.
Yeah, I don't think it's really clever to start reading people with that cough.
Okay. Besides this cough. And I know what y'all are thinking. This is not AIDS. That's what people always think about women. Oh, she got AIDS. She got AIDS. It's never like, oh, she must have strep throat. Or it's never even like gonorrhea in the throat. It's just like AIDS. She got AIDS.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't have AIDS.
Oh my God.
I just found a little cough. No, it's just the fact that sometimes some trans women that are post-op are a little delusional in their thinking because of the fact that, you know, yes, if you're getting it done for your own well-being and things of that nature, that's fine. But then you're gonna have to deal with the fact that, you know, you get that done, and then the men that wanted to be with trans women don't want you because you don't have that main component. And then the men that are attracted to women don't want to be with you because you used to be a man. So the delusional part comes in. And I actually agree with Sebastian Andrew to a certain degree. You know, there is, when a man messes around with a transgender woman, that's not coughing, basically, it's not exactly heterosexual sex there, no matter what lie we may tell ourselves.
I don't feel like I'm lying to myself. I'm fully aware why it seems
right.
to people. I'm not lying. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fully prepared to be called a man for the rest of my life. I transitioned with the full knowledge of what it's like for women who are openly trans. I don't think I'm lying to myself. What I am saying though is that men who are with me, yes, they may hypersexualize me, and yes, they might be attracted to my genitals in that way. I'm very aware of that. It still doesn't feel gay though. It does. I know it feels. It's going to sound crazy to people who are straight and gay, and besides that, I do understand that. But having lived as an effeminate gay male myself, it was a very different experience. And the men who are attracted to me now are men who are attracted to women who have penises. It's fine for us to distinguish that as a sexual kink, lifestyle, attraction, whatever. It's fine for that to be a category unto itself.
Right. So somebody in the comments said the romance between the same sex is gay. Forms of sexual acts are based on pleasure.
Okay.
So how I see it is when I'm having sex with a man, I feel like in order for me to, I don't ever see it as gay because if he's not living a gay lifestyle, how is it gay sex? Like I don't see, you know, men that are attracted to me, they don't see me as a gay man. They don't see themselves as gay men. Okay. So how is it gay sex?
What are they doing when they leave your house and they go and see Francis down the street? Are they going to see Paul?
But the thing is, I will speak to men openly, and I don't think most of them are. I think some may, and they will tell me, and that's cool. I've taken bisexual.
I do believe that a lot of men that I feel like, honestly, I feel like every single man on earth has the ability to be bisexual. I feel like sex is fluid. I think people just don't act
bisexual on it. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
And we have to understand what down low means. Down low, there's three forms of down low. There's men who lie to females, men who lie to gay males, and men who lie to trans people. So I could be with a guy who sleeps around with cis women and tells them, oh, I don't like no trannies. I don't like no fags. And then he'll go to a gay man. Please let me finish. He'll go with a gay man and tell a gay man, I don't like fish. I don't like pussy. I like only dudes. Like there's men living triple lives. That's and true. We'll never know until either they choose to disclose or we catch them on Grindr. But what's funny is a lot of men, they'll be on Tinder and then they'll be on Grindr and they'll be looking for two different things. So these guys will have the same photo on Tinder looking for females, and then they'll be on Grindr looking for gay males and trans women. So, and they're lying to all of us. They're lying to all of us.
Yeah,
so I want to ask you, Kenya, while we still have you in the room, and thanks for being a part of this, definitely, because this is really powerful, this conversation.
This is a basic conversation.
I want to ask you, as a cis woman, I have to keep on mentioning it because people will get it confused because this is a trans channel, and you know we're really happy to have you. So I want to ask you, if you found out that a man that you were talking to has had sex with trans women, would you still deal with him? Honestly.
Yeah, no hate.
That is, I don't know. I mean, off top, it probably might be a no. Because then if is he keeping it a secret? I found out because I found him on some type of platform, or someone told me, or did he tell me that? Miss Ashley?
I'm saying basically if, you know, maybe, because, okay, let's say, you know,
is he honest or is he lying?
Let's say this is, okay, let's do the scenario where he's honest, which sometimes it's really not.
Can I set up the scenario? Can I set up the scenario, please?
Oh yeah, let Fox be the queen of mess.
It's one of the very few moments I want to set up the scenario. Okay, so basically you've been dating this guy, and then you find out that you're on Pornhub and you find out that he is giving cream pies to
do we need to explain what cream pies are? Not everyone knows.
You tell me what I think I have an idea, but can you tell me what cream pie is?
Yes, basically he's breeding this trans woman in this porno. Because
okay.
I have to break down what breeding means.
No, I got it. I'm good.
It's an endless series of sexual definitions. This is wonderful.
I love her accent. It makes everything so nasty sound so classy.
Thank you.
When I go up pay grades, my accent is gonna turn into hers. I'm telling you.
Or you can have an accent like Lindsay Lohan and get punched in the face. Yeah. And I can't believe you punched me.
No, I think that when I found out about the cream pies, that would end it. I don't know. There wouldn't be. I mean, it would be no different than if he were. I mean, it probably would, because of the stigma, it would probably be a little bit more emotional for me, and it'd leave me a little bit way more confused, like how understanding. But it's the same thing. I'm gonna feel, if not the same, about if he was giving a cream pie to a lady, you know, or you can even do that. But yeah. That's a difficult.
Yeah, they do.
You never know. You never know. You just said Kachinga.
Yeah, you got it. That's it. That's my name.
The women don't leave. You're asking me, and this said the women usually don't leave. I don't know. I'd have to be in that emotional state to say, but off top, just giving you an answer, no, because I'm picturing this. I'm like, that's out. If he's on Pornhub nailing bitches and I don't know about it, I'm like, that's out.
But the awkward thing is, for me, ethically, when I hear particularly Black women say this, and I am constantly getting messages from men on every platform saying that they love how bodacious I am, I love my body, you're so pretty, you're so cute, but yeah, I've got a girlfriend, and they are very upfront with it, and they are cool with, they literally come into our lives saying, you're beautiful, can't wait to be with you, but I've got a girlfriend and I'm only available on Tuesday 5 till 7 and Sundays 3 till 6. Is that okay? And it's hard for me in that position to be like, you know what? I respect my sisters too much to betray them and stuff, like and then you're gonna put transphobia on top of that. Like, why would I not sleep with every married and girlfriended man if that's the attitude? Because it feels like it feels like as a trans woman, it feels like you're being told constantly that you as a person are going to taint someone's sexuality in life so much, like you're that disgusting that I could never be with anyone that's touched you. And that's the way it's received. It's hard. It's really impossible for me to not receive it like that. So my revenge is to sleep with every married man that comes onto me, and that's a lot. Like, they don't. It feels really hard because they don't care about the dignity of the women, the cisgender women that they're with at all. They couldn't give a fuck.
I think selfish by nature, anyways.
I really believe that, like, you guys having this platform and sharing this information, and then like just having this dialogue with me is very important. That's the first foremost thing. Like, because if out of ignorance, oh my God, you sleeping with the trans, I don't know what you got with a all this kind of crazy, like how Lady Fox is yelling, like just ignorant shit. And but until we have a dialogue and you educate me or whoever about it, you know,
right,
and put it to a point where probably, I mean, a lot of women probably feel inferior to some.
You got a whole womb. You get the house. You get the children. You get to be walked down the street in the daytime. You get everything. How can you feel deficient? I don't. Sorry to cut you. Excuse me.
No. I'm saying I'm not telling my story per se. Personally, I'm saying it's different avenues. It's different, different things and how people can interpret and how they could feel about it. But I don't know.
Okay, so again, I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to be shady, but just so that everyone understands what we're trying to say and who we're speaking about. When you say women, we have to, if we're talking about a biologically born female, we have to use cis women, because people find it. When we say like, oh, she's a lady, you know, we have to figure out, are you saying that only cis women are ladies? Because a lot of trans women consider themselves ladies too.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, they're in the comments. Somebody called you problematic, Kenya. They said she's problematic because you refer to females as ladies. So, you know, they're basically trying to say that we need to know.
That's reaching. That just brings back. You're a lady.
We know what we're saying.
Is a lady. So they're reaching. They're reaching for the stars. They need to bring it, dial it back.
Don't mind them. That's their delusional thing that's going on with a lot of the transgenders.
Well, some trans women are ladies. Some trans women.
I think that they are. I mean, am I not on the line with ladies? All of you are ladies, right? If
that's right.
Is that wrong for me to call you all ladies?
No, it's completely wrong. The thing is, this is like a laid back chat.
Those are very sensitive. What do you mean I'm a lady?
People are.
I'm a woman.
No, what's going on?
Now, what kind of woman? Wait. What kind of woman are you?
Oh my God. Okay. I'm a woman. That's why Ashley said sis. Now it makes sense. Like, you really have to clarify everything.
Right, I feel so we can all be on the same level, on the same page, because we have to. If we're trying to be allies towards each other, we have to respect everybody's comfortability levels. And some people just feel that when you say, people feel alienated when we call, like, oh, you know, but if it's a lady, well, what when you say lady, what, you know, what kind, you know?
Okay.
It gets very complex.
At the end of the day, this is what Wendy Williams calls kitchen table talk. You know, we're having a laid back discussion. And so it's not going to be as politically correct as if we were talking on CNN.
Right. And Ashley, thank you for pointing that out. Because again, like I just said, you have to educate the average woman. I think that it has to be a dialogue. That's why we're having this dialogue. I'm gonna
exactly.
Because most people just get it. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you for educating me on the fact.
I just because what happens on Twitter and
a backbone
What?
And I need a big
I'm sending you the Uber Eats right now. They're sending you juice right now. Uber Eats is on the way.
Uber Eats some,
It's so guttural. I cannot take it.
Somebody knew her.
I'm gonna dismiss myself. I need to go and to Rite Aid and get a couple of things. I'll talk to you girls later.
Oh.
And but occasion. Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Go to Rite Aid. What? Okay.
Oh, she really left.
Oh wow. She really left.
Okay.
I thought that was a joke. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke too.
So did I. So did I.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess this is where do we go now?
Well,
she left and all the noise left too. All the noise left.
No, without the coughing, it does feel a little less popping. The coughing made it feel
busier.
It did, yeah.
It was busier. So, Miss Ashley, educate me. So, me speaking, I said lady, I referred to the lady, or is TS, if I say TS, is that appropriate to say?
I mean, it's cool if you're talking to us, but not publicly.
How would you
to stay in the realm of politically correct?
Yes.
Used to say trans women or cisgender women. So it's transgender women and cisgender women. If you stick to those terms, then you won't upset anyone. I don't think. I hope not. Anyway. But yeah, then if you start to branch out into talking about biological women and whatever, then people are going to see that as dated language or offensive language or whatever. I feel awkward because when I'm talking with my girlfriends, particularly my trans girlfriends, we are terrible. We're like so on PC. And like probably the most transphobic people I know are trans women, to be honest. So I get around this sort of stuff by just thinking about what space I'm in. If I'm on a panel, as a journalist, as a writer, like speaking to a room full of people, then I will stick to appropriate terminology. But if I'm just talking with my girlfriends like I am here now, then I will allow a range of language because I know what everyone means and I can kind of hear what people's intentions are and stuff. I know when there's hate in the room and I know when there's not, and there isn't any hate.
Right. Yeah, I didn't mean any malice.
Yeah, I think that some people, we could tell like when somebody describes someone, you could just tell in the tonality, like they're coming from a place of malice.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, I like trans women, transgender sign, but like tranny, even though a lot of people use the word tranny and sometimes I've used it too, but I don't like to be called a tranny.
No, I don't.
I feel like it's like it doesn't even sound. Yeah.
Tranny for me is like our N-word. Like that's for me and my girls to use with each other. I don't mind if my girlfriend calls me a tranny, or like even my girlfriend Elena, who like talk about it, she says things like, I can't fucking stand these tranny hoes or something like that, and it's funny. But yeah, if a man that I'm dating refers to me or other girls as trannies, then I will correct him, and I probably wouldn't see him again because it marks him out as a guy who is gonna look at me as it's a pornification of you as a person. If a guy who's trying to link you is calling you a tranny, for me, you're basically like a sex doll from online come to life. Like he doesn't fully respect you as a person.
Okay.
But my favorite word,
that's definitely how in porn it's they use the word tranny is really popular in porn, especially in shemale too. Like those definitely are just like really big like ways to just it's sexualization of trans people, like the shemale, hung shemale, big cock.
Yeah.
Queen Dingalang. Big dick bitch.
That means I can't watch a lot of this stuff, like, because if I see that on like a video, I'm just, it just turns me off. So I'm so unaroused by that language that I just can't really get down with it. I watch more straight porn as a result.
But what about T.S. Madison? T.S.
I
Madison?
love that. I love the word transsexual, and I love TS. And like for me, on my apps and my dating sites, I will refer to myself as TS with another name. I won't use it now just in case some of my stuff comes up, but yeah.
Right. I think that T.S. Madison, I think that what happened with her is that it was her name, like, on all her publications, and she got big with that name. So it was something that she used to promote her website, which was a porn website. So I think that she made the smart decision when she tried to start slowly changing it to Madison Hinton, which looks better, on paper and documents and publications rather than TS. But I love the fact that she's unapologetic about it. Because but I definitely won't go to DM. I won't be going to the DMV writing down TS.
No.
She calls herself the big dick bitch.
Yeah.
Right. Is that? I mean, is that something that is that like an offensive word, like tranny, or she's just making it something negative?
No, because she's defining herself for herself, so I think it's cool. Like, say, for a parallel with race, it's like Amara. Yeah, I was gonna say that just for like a parallel with race, it's like Amara La Negra. Like she's owning her identity for herself. She's defining it herself for herself. I kind of like being associated with like the transsexual Amazons of old school. Like, I don't know, I just like being referred to as TS or transsexual because I don't know, it feels like there's a legacy there. It feels like I'm connected to women like Caroline Cossey and stuff. And yeah, the type of woman that I am is someone who I like to be glamorous. I like being sexual. I don't mind being sexualized. I don't want to. I want to be more than that as well. I don't see why I can't be known as sexual and intellectual and caring and community focused and all those things. It's like as soon as you become a sexual being as a trans woman, it's like you're not allowed to be anything else. You're just a fuck doll.
You're in a box.
Right. And also, we were talking about pre-ops, non-ops, and post-ops. There are a lot of trans women who are non-operative, meaning our transition and we accept ourselves as we, not as we are really, but we accept what we have down there. We don't have.
This is where folks would call us delusional. This is because she said
sex changes were delusional though. That's what she said.
Yeah, I know, but then she was. It's funny she's gone now, but yeah, I feel like she would say,
"Oh, she's back.
I'm back.
Really, I'm cool. Okay. I didn't see you come up.
We did not hear a cough.
I had to go and get myself a little dose of Ricola, some Hall drops, and some big cough syrup. So
we have the same cough sweets. That's so cool. Globalization.
Right. So I don't think my womanhood is not defined on body parts. My womanhood and my transness is it is what it is, like inside I feel, and on the outside I don't base.
My womanhood is defined by the amount of money I have spent going to Dr. Lee. Which is a grand total of 20,000 G's.
Okay,
right.
US, 20,000 US dollars.
Right, and some people want to.
Lady Fox, thank you. I gotta go, you guys. I really am. I'm so appreciative.
Well, thank you so much, Tanya.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You
ladies. So cool.
I was gonna say, guys, but that's not the kind of way I was using it.
Oh, transphobic.
Beautiful ladies. I know. You beautiful ladies, thank you for having me. You made my day. This has really made my day.
Transphobia. No, I can't wait to see you
get on Tumblr.
Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. Thank you
Take care, Kenya. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye, darling.
Okay, so great. That was really nice. So let's end off with one last topic. Now it's just us trans girls. So let's talk about I think Fox, are you there?
Experience.
Women of trans experience, however you want to call it. Yeah, our next topic that we were going to get into was, I had it written down.
Happily ever after, and our vibe with our hair. Was that what we were going to talk about?
We said overcoming self-hate, internalized racism.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, overcoming self-hate. Yeah, that's definitely good. So I thought this would be really good since I know Kachunga. For those of you who watch Tea Time London, thank you for supporting the show. A lot of people have been trying to like pin Tea Time London versus Tea Time with the Girls, saying how